but then negotiations failed. So what about this character?
Everyone else turned it down, all that's left. Now went to Charlize and she said,
no, I just want to know, like, what about this character made you be the one to say yes?
We're meeting Rupert, and the little teaser you saw before that he shot in, I think, 24 hours or something, you know, it was hugely impressive, and I love the script. It was fantastic. We all know the story, but as I said before, it's a completely different take on it, and that excited me, and the concept art, and this cast, and you know, it all, I try and sort of keep it pretty simple, my approach to the script. Either I like it or I don't, and I can try and analyse it later, but my initial gut instinct said, yeah, this sounds like fun, so signed up, and there was no one else left.
Next. Miss Theron, I'm a third-year acting student at San Diego State, and I was wondering what kind of research did you have to do to prepare for a mean villain?
Nothing.
You know, it's weird. I usually get a question asked a lot. You play a lot of strong women, and I guess like villain or like whatever the characteristics are of the character, it's weird to kind of compartmentalize it and make it about one thing. And I think for me the biggest thing, you know, when you talk about research or trying to find a character is to just always find the truth. And really for me the biggest thing is an understanding of the world and the circumstances. And once I have an understanding of that, you know, whether it's a villain or a good person or a strong person or a weak person, you know, those are just all human, you know, it's like the human connection is always going to be there. So it really all plays within the circumstances. So it was very important for me, you know, when I first met with Rupert, to really understand, you know, this as a fable, she kind of starts off just as a bad person, and it was important to kind of understand where she came from and what kind of drive her to like get to where she is. And you know, I don't think this is going to be the evil queen that kind of just shows up and she's evil. I think there's going to be a lot of her circumstances that will kind of lead into her action, and that's the most important thing for me. You know, I don't want to go and just be evil. I want to be able to go play a character that. And trust me, she's dark and she does horrible. She's a serial killer. I mean, I'm pretty much preparing to play a serial killer. And, you know, that's interesting for me, like trying to ground it and make it something real. Watch out, Kristen.
Thanks for the question. Next.
Good luck, by the way. Keep it up.
I just want to know what music you've been listening to until here, if you have any specific reason. Also, Cabernet.
Oh, shut up.
Wait, hold on. Wait, what?
Nothing.
Oh. If I could toss it over there, I mean, I'll make a little...
I'll take it!
Can I do that? I'm not listening to anything that pertains necessarily to what I'm getting ready for.
I have some music that I cut myself for you. It's like me singing lullabies. I thought it'd be helpful.
I really meant it too. It's probably crap.
Oh yeah. No, I get it. My feelings aren't hurt at all.
Next.
Hi, I just want to say real quick, Kristen, that I've been a big fan since Catch That Kid.
Yeah.
What drew each of you to this movie?
Well, kind of what I was saying before about not expecting Snow White to be the type of person that she is in the script, and Rupert also had a good meeting with him. It was fun. I would say that it's a good timing in my life too, I guess, just with things that I'm around and that I see a lot. It really, it's a good. We should have a few like mirror-breaking scenes. It's, you know, I play someone who really lacks any vanity whatsoever, That was cool. I like that idea. Somebody who's not even remotely self-conscious, doesn't even have, like, doesn't, you know, she's never been looked at, she's a prisoner. And to see someone who doesn't really know, isn't really aware of who she is, but has such a strong sense of self, I liked. And she really, she saves the day and all of that, so that's exciting as well, so I was into that.
Woo! Woo! Woo!
Love you, Kristen.
Charlize, that question is for all four.
I'm sorry. I fall asleep at 3, sorry. Well, I was very fortunate because God, I hope I'm not repeating myself because I was here 2 days ago, but I was supposed to go and do a film in Australia, and the film pushed, and I was kind of sitting around waiting for it to happen, and then it pushed, and I was like, oh my God, now I'm just sitting around doing nothing. So this really was a great gift. It came to me at a time where I thought I wasn't going to be doing anything and kind of be stuck having to wait for this other film to happen. But, you know, for me, the biggest thing always, I think the greatest lesson that I've learned, and as long as I've been doing this, is that you're really just as good as the people that you work with. And so when I heard, what did I do? Me too?
Well,
No.
there was a shout out to Kristen.
Hurry, I'm literally turning into the queen. I'm aging up here. I'm like, look at my hair. And so there was the combination of the cast, the combination of Joe Roth and Rupert, and the idea of where they wanted to go with it. That was just kind of my taste. You know, to kind of take this fable, this story that we know so well, and kind of turn it upside down and you know, slap it around a little bit and bring some real common themes that I think, you know, when people go and see this, it's going to be spectacular and it's going to be huge, and because Joe Roth doesn't know how to make a small film, I thought this was an independent.
We all did.
Yeah.
We're in Hawaii right now, too.
Okay, thank you. But I like those themes. I really liked very relevant themes, and also, just for myself, I thought this character was so kind of well known, and so that was a little scary, but I thought, you know, if there was ever an opportunity to take something that people knew so well and turn it completely upside down, that could be really, really interesting.
Can I interject here?
Please.
I think what might be interesting is what drew them to us. Because when you have a film like this, you can really kind of draw from just about anybody. And there's no question that all four of these characters, Sam's work in Pirates as a missionary where he holds a screen with both with Johnny Depp and a mermaid, you know, certainly qualified up there, and Chris in generating a kind of heat and center stage and size and heroism from Thor. Charlize was a first and only choice because she's so imposing and she's such a great actress.
That sounds like you basically just said, because I'm a bitch.
Because she's so imposing. And then Kristen, you know, truth be told, we started out looking for unknown because I was trying to copy what we'd done in Alice and found Mia. But the more we thought about it, you know, here is this woman who has proven inside this franchise to be a big, big star. And the idea of being the first one to get her out of the franchise into a big movie and have her grow from that character into this character seemed like something that we really couldn't resist. And so the fact of the matter is, these are people who are here because they all impose their will on the characters.
Well, I wish you all a safe trip back to the United Kingdom. Unfortunately, we're out of time, but I thank you all for being here. Thank you all for the questions. And thanks to the cast of crew, Snow White and the Huntsman.
They're not gonna let us.